Welcome back to Exclusive Diaries, your gateway to captivating stories, hidden secrets, and extraordinary journeys. Join me as we dive into the pages of life's most exclusive diaries, uncovering untold tales and unraveling mysteries. Get ready for an adventure filled with wonder, inspiration, and intrigue. Welcome to Exclusive Diaries, where the extraordinary awaits.
Am I the idiot for not taking my ex in after she lost her job, apartment, and has Noone to turn to? We have a kid together, which is the only reason I am asking for judgment. Me, 31M, and my ex, 29F, broke up 6 months ago after being together for 9 years. To make a long story short, she cheated and I hate her guts. The fact she cheated also lost her pretty much all her friends, as they were mostly mutual friends who chose my side, for lack of a better way to phrase it. After I ended it with her, swallowed my pride and got along with her for the sake of our daughter. But let me be clear, that's also the only reason, and any and all talking I do with her is always about our daughter. I also need to clarify that she has no family to turn to, and the guy she cheated with was a one-night stand, so nothing there either. Which is undoubtedly why she came to me when she came to drop of our daughter 50-50 custody. She also arrived with a couple of suitcases in tow. When I asked her if she was moving, she immediately started telling me what had happened. She got fired last week, her lease had ran out, and would not be renewed. Apparently, the owner's son was going to live there, and she only has savings to last her a few weeks if she gets a cheap hotel, and with the economy right now, she can forget about getting a job in her field anytime soon. And the rent prices are high as hell here and that's. On the off chance you can even find a place to begin with. After an awkward pause where she was probably expecting me to invite her to stay with me, which I obviously didn't, she asked me if she could stay with me. Now I got the room, 3-bedroom apartment, so I got a spare room. I make plenty to feed another mouth. Issue is, I hate her, like legitimately despise her. Like I said, the only reason I tolerate her in my life is our daughter. If she wasn't in the picture, I would have laughed in her face and slammed the door right away. I said no, obviously, to which she started saying she figured we were friends now and she has nowhere to go. I told her that we are not friends and that the only reason I speak to her at all is our daughter. She should not mistake me being civil with friendship. She started crying and pretty much begging. I lost my shit. Told her the fact she had the guts to ask to live with me after everything she did is literally testament to the piece of shit she is, and told her she'd better get a job and a place since I am not leaving our daughter with her in a shitty hotel room, and closed the door. Now here is the thing, at the end of the day, she us the mother of my daughter, so I feel responsible and sort of guilty, despite the fact I hate her, so I wanted the judgment of strangers on the internet. Well, here I am. Now for the next story. Am I the idiot for refusing to let my SIL move into my home temporarily? My husband is deployed and has been for almost 11 months. We are a 3-year-old daughter and a 14-month-old son. My SIL, 43, has an 11-year-old daughter who she allows to run amok. Last month, she asked her best friend to move in with her to help pay bills, and this sparked an affair between her husband and said friend. I feel bad for her, I truly do. But there are many reasons why I don't want her to move in. The biggest one, she now calls me to tell me all the time that men are pigs and that my husband is probably cheating on me. Mind you, this is her brother. She doesn't have a job and refuses to get one. She has not worked in 16 years. Her daughter has literally no discipline, and every time they have visited, she has left my home in complete shambles with my kids' toys broken and destroyed. Her daughter also lies like a rug, and she laughs it off and says that it isn't a big deal. Example, her daughter drew all over my spreadsheet for work that was completely finished and due the very next morning. I didn't have time to make another one and had to spend several hours trying to use whiteout. She even wrote her name on it. The kid outright denied it and tried blaming my oldest, who only scribbles. Her mom said, "She said she didn't do it, and I'm not going to break her spirit simply because she drew on something. Put your stuff up for safekeeping next time you invite us for a visit." I did not invite her. She showed up unannounced. She always says things like, "What are you getting your favorite SIL for her birthday?" Or, "Since you love me so much, you should buy me this." Anyways, I just can't do it. So she asked last week, or rather told me, well, it's final. Greg and I are over. Teresa and I are going to come crash at your place. Literally like an outright demand, as if I owe her. So I said, "No, you're not." She freaked out and asked me why, and I was completely honest with her, down to every last detail. I simply don't have enough patience, and I don't want her in my house while I am not there to make sure her daughter doesn't destroy my house. My husband called and I told him what happened. He said, "You told her no, right?" So he's 100% behind me on this one. But my BIL is saying that I'm a stupid bitch for not being more understanding because her husband cheated, and staying in the house with him and his mistress is going to cause a mental plummet. Now for the next story. Am I the idiot? For living with my grandma at 31 and telling people to STFU when they tell me to get a real job? I always considered my grandparents my parents. My grandpa passed in January. I had been working at the same store since a teenager. I made a pretty decent wage since I had 14 years of raises, but I hated it. It was really taking a toll on my mental health, and after my grandpa passed, it just made everything worse. My grandma was also not doing well. She has always had an extreme fear of being alone and was grieving her husband she had spent 64 years with. I was spending as much time with her as possible and trying to cheer her up. Then, when COVID hit, I started worry about catching and giving it to her. We decided I would quit. I would move in with her. Then she wouldn't have to be alone, and I wouldn't have to have a job I hate. This has worked out well for us. Both of our mental health has improved. This has also given me the time and energy to start taking college classes online. Ever since my mom found I quit and moved in with my grandma, she has been spamming me, calling me a loser and a deadbeat. I blocked her so she calls my grandma and makes her cry. She tells her she's holding me back by letting me live with her, that I'm an embarrassment to the family. She also told her I'm being guilt-tripped into it. Not true. My grandma blocked her. Now she recruits neighbors to pry. Now my grandma says everyone will benefit if she is gone. I could have the house to myself or rent it out or sell it, then not have to worry about money. Go to a good university instead of a community college. She thinks if I go to a better school, I will get a better job, and this will impress my mom and stepdad, and they will let me have the kids. I don't want my grandma going anywhere. This is her home. She took me in when I was a kid. She was there for me. I have no problem being here for her. I still have some income from other work. I have no debt. I may not have a 401k or something, but I do have a good bit of money saved up. Everyone else seems to think there is a problem. But my only problem is nosy neighbors and my other family members prying into my life. Now, when my mom has someone else call me or my grandma, I tell them to shut the fuck up and mind their own damn business. Some of these people have complained to my mom and stepdad that I was rude to them. But I really don't think I'm the one being an asshole. My therapist says there is never a reason to be rude. I'm getting close to telling her to shut the fuck up. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit like. If you would like to see more, feel free to subscribe.